What's good, y'all? This is Let's Get It with Coach Los. I'm your host, Coach Los AC, certified life and relationship coach that helps people fix or find the relationships they want. And this podcast covers the best relationship advice, tools, and action steps to get the results you want in your personal, professional, and of course, love life. So I hope you get a lot of value from the episode. And if you do, as always, remember to like and subscribe so you can be notified when I drop new episodes. Let's get it. Fellas, in today's world, your wallet is not your only tool for leadership in your relationship. And I feel like I need to say this because a lot of men put so much value in and pride in their ability to produce financially, to take care of their woman, their family, and so forth. And I get it. It makes sense, right? And what you're building. But I need you to understand that even if your woman makes more than you, because that is a lot of the situations most men are finding themselves in modern day society, because women are earning a lot more. That still doesn't mean that she's not yearning for a man who can provide emotional stability, right? Guidance, a man she can actually follow and learn something from, and a calming presence, right? If anything, those elements, those soft skills are becoming even more paramount to women as they're moving into a stage, for themselves to where they don't require or have a necessity for survival a man to have a lot of money or whatever, because maybe they're making their own money. Not saying they don't value a man having it and bringing a certain experience and being able to provide and things, but it's less and less that they must have it in order for them to be able to live. And the proof's in the pudding. 30.6% of married women earn more than their husbands in modern day society. And 16% of those women are the breadwinners in their marriage, right? So I'm saying this because you're not this weird anomaly if you're in that situation where your woman maybe is out earning you, right? Because I know traditionally that's not been the case. So men can start to feel weird and feel a little insecure in that sometimes, or feel inadequate in those ways. You can put yourself in that position or start thinking that way. It's possible if you're not secure enough within yourself and all those things. But I'm giving you those numbers because that's just the way things are rolling right now, right? That's just the norm as we know it. But it's not something for you to adopt as this thing that means you can't be the man in your relationship that you want to be. So yes, the foundation of the average relationship and household is changing, right? The dynamics of it are, but the roles of leading and following, that has not changed that much. The values around those are still there for the respective sides in the way in which they like to have value in them, right? Because leadership doesn't boil down to just, who's earning the most money in the home and who can pay all the bills, right? It's not what leadership actually is. That can be a component of it, but it's one small fragment, right? And if anything, if you're talking leadership in just the general sense, a lot of leaders just wind up managing wherever the sources of funds come from, right? They're not necessarily even the one that has to be hands-on with producing them, just in the general sense. Not talking about for your relationship or what have you. But the main point is you have to start seeing where your role as a leader comes in a multifaceted way, not just the basic servicey way a lot of men fall victim to convincing themselves that they have to measure up to, or they can't do the role that the woman in their life actually still wants them to take on. So if you're stuck in that space of tying your identity to what you can produce financially, and you start feeling inadequate because maybe your woman makes more than you and you feel useless and all these things, then you need to learn to redefine what masculine leadership looks like. Because yes, the money matters. It does. But it's not everything. Your ability to go fight some guy or somebody for your woman, or take on a wild animal, that's awesome too. But that's not all it means to protect your woman, right? How about, can you be her emotional anchor? Can you be the calm in her storm? Can you recognize whenever she's overwhelmed and offer support? Bring her back to center, calm her mind, reassure her, right? Be present, be her rock, be that foundation that doesn't move, so that with everything that's going on, she knows it will be okay because you're here to keep her centered, right? That's part of leadership. Guidance over control. Can you provide direction without dominating or needing to dictate the situation all the time? Where you encourage her aspirations while providing stability still, right? Still giving frame and structure, right? That's something masculine energy is great at, providing a sense of reassuredness, right? Direct actions, black and white, clear-cut thoughts, clarity, right? She needs that. But can you be secure enough in yourself to offer that, to where you encourage her to be her best and blossom and go as far as she can, crush it, hit all the goals, even if they seem to be past your goals, right? To where you're not threatened by her success. And if anything, you're still there to help be a guiding light while she goes on that road, because she still wants that from you. She's still a feminine woman. She doesn't want to have to sit in this masculine role of making all the big tough decisions all the time and all the things. She wants your help there because your energy base is great for that, for clarity of doing that. But can you be solid enough within yourself to handle that role if it doesn't look the way it has looked traditionally to do it, if that's your circumstance? Oh, here's one that often gets overlooked by masculine men because we're so pre-wired to focus on fixing things, because that's what that energy base is great at, problem solving, right? But how about the fact that presence matters? Sometimes just being there, listening, and holding space is all the leadership that she needs. Sometimes she doesn't require you to come and be this champion and knock down all the walls and take on all the issues for her. She just needs you to hold a space and be that rock, right? Be that center of gravity for her that she can orbit around and feel a sense of anchor and feel reassured while she's navigating through things that are challenging. Just that masculine presence itself that has, reassurance all in it is sometimes all that's required from you to do your job, your role as a leader in your relationship. And notice, none of these things I'm talking about had anything to do with a dollar. Even though, yes, money does matter. You need to be on your game, taking care of your business, getting your paper right. Absolutely. I'll never say you shouldn't be aspiring to do that for yourself as a man, because you're going to feel great about it when you do as well and all the things. But stop anchoring who you are and what your worth is to that money. Stop letting it affect the way you now react to the women in your life, and you get weird or antsy or you get insecure or you start acting a way because maybe they're crushing it financially or something in some way that you start to equate to inadequacy on your end because of that. Stop doing that to yourself, because leadership is way more about presence than it ever is about provision. So make this shift from tying your worth and your value to your earning potential or your ability to go, knock someone down for your woman or whatever the case is, and start learning that true masculinity, true leadership masculinity is not about out earning her. If anything, it's about out serving her in love, support, and partnership. Now, let's be clear here. I'm not saying that as an excuse or a pass for women to not show up and try to love you equally and all the things. No, she should be trying to come and be a great contribution to your world like you are to her. But what I'm saying to you is, as men, we lead, we take the first step. We initiate, we're proactive, we get into action. We're the ones in the energy base more regularly that's about challenge, about taking on things, about problem solving, about accomplishing. So don't wait for your woman to fix it. You fix it. You take the first step, right? I don't care if she's the one that got more emotional, whatever the case is. You bring the balance. You bring that harmony on that end. Again, this is no excuse for her taking accountability for her role, things she does and all that. But leaders don't worry about how they lead based off of the person that they want to follow them or the people following them are operating. No, they set the tone. And those who follow usually match the tone. Thing is this, when it comes to relationships and you with your woman, she's never going to follow a lead that doesn't make her feel safe, doesn't make sense, and doesn't align with her, right? She has to believe in you as a leader. So that means you have to lead by example, and she will surely follow as long as she can believe in what she's following. Meaning you need to be consistent and be a man of your word and follow through, right? And just know this, every time you go and you put off an excuse on why you did or didn't do something, why you did or didn't respond a certain way because of what your woman did, no matter how justified you may be right. Maybe she was being the problem in that moment and you reacted to her doing the thing. And don't get me wrong, as humans, that happens to all of us, right? We're reactionary creatures because we're wired to defend ourselves and all these things. But if when you're out of that moment, you still don't take the accountability, don't follow up and own up to just your part as the leader in the equation, you're proving to me you don't understand your masculinity the way you should to be the man you claim you want to be in your relationship, right? Or to whoever woman out there that you're looking for, right? So instead of pushing off any blame, own everything that you can. Because like I've said before, and I will always say, a man that truly leads has to take accountability for the results he gets under his leadership. Not for the actions of those in the equation, but for how he handled it and navigated it under his leadership. So I really want you to ask yourself, how are you leading in your relationship? Are you leading at all? Or is the way you're leading, is it encompassing of you providing that emotional stability, the guidance, right? The presence? Are you bringing that rock? Or are you stepping in to tell your lady whenever she's maybe burning herself out or whatever, hey, slow down. Let's bring it back center. We're all right. We'll get there. Are you reeling her in? Are you being that firm foundation for her? Right? Heck, even if she is making more money than you, are you pulling your own weight? Because maybe she does make more, but are you pulling your weight enough to where you can still provide for her to where even though she has the money, she doesn't have to go into her bag and pull out that money, right? Are you handling your business well enough to actually be able to afford in a relationship with a feminine woman? Are you? Right? And look, I'll go a step even further. Maybe you're in a circumstance and you're realizing, I'm a little down on my money and I'm not pulling my weight to that degree. And my woman does make more than me and all that. Okay, what are you doing about it? This is one of those moments where if your woman is out earning you and all these things, and you're just a great guy in a general sense, but you have a little bit of insecurity because you feel like you should be doing more or be able to provide more financially, and she's out here crushing it and all that. Okay, don't start getting insecure or intimidated by her earnings, right? Because I think a lot of times women think men get intimidated by the woman when sometimes they can just feel insecure or intimidated by her results that he's not getting, but not her herself, right? But nor here nor there. But if you do feel that sense of like it feels uncomfortable in her position financially versus yours, then use that as motivation to your strength, right? And that masculine energy you have in you that craves challenge. Lean into it more and rise to that challenge. Get on your game, figure out how to level the playing field. Use it as a healthy way to motivate you to raise your standards. But in no circumstance is it ever acceptable for you to take a negative approach on that, right? For you to, feel bad about it for yourself or to have a subconscious, projecting way of attacking her or being negative or self-sabotaging because you are not taking care of things you need to be taken care of. It should only be upward and onward always, because that's what leaders do. Because at the end of the day, until you truly embody what it means to be a leader, principles, morality, values, and all, you can't lead anyone because you're most likely not even leading yourself. So if you need help with figuring out how to master your masculine, right, and truly become the leader that you want to be so you can feel the way you want to feel in your home and your relationship and be the man you want to be to your woman, then email or DM me the word coaching and we will get to work. Only if you're truly ready to put that work in. Let's get it.